Now let's see, today on the workbench I have this is an Athearn blue box car, rail box. What we're going to do, I've got a couple of the Tsunami Soundcar decoders, and I'm going to go through how I install one in this box car here. I've installed one, and they're really simple to install. The hardest part about it is the way that we get power from the wheels. Now you can buy powered trucks, but I am making my own, and it seemed to work out really well for the last one. What I'll be using is, well, if you can see this, my fingers are on it right there. That is 16 thousandths brass wire, 0.016. And what I'll do is I'll remove the trucks, I'll remove the wheels, because the old Athearns just have their wheel sets are plastic with a metal axle, and I'll change them out. I'm gonna put in some KD wheels, code 110, 33-inch, smooth black. They're part number 520. I'll just replace out all those, and I'll show you how I power up this truck. That'd be the first thing that we do. So we'll go through and we'll take this one off. Being uncooperative here. Try to keep my hands away from as much as I can here. It'd be like the decoder installs there that I did a little while ago, a month or so ago. I'll just go ahead and take both sets off right now. That way we can get this out of the way. Okay, here we can get our box car out of the way. Flip that over. That will need to come apart. So anyway, alright, we'll try to keep things semi-organized here. We'll pull these old wheel sets out. Get them out of the way. Go ahead, get us a couple new wheels. And the great thing about the KDs, made in the US. Okay. Just see how this rolls in here. That rolls really smooth. Okay. Now, what I end up doing here, take that back out. So what I have to do is I take my wire, and I run it through the center of the truck, and I fold it out to where it will touch. The last one I did, I folded them out to where they touch the inside of the wheel here, and you can't see them when the wheel sets are on the trucks. So I'm going to try that method again, but the first thing I'll end up doing is this is a 20 thousandths drill bit, if you can see that there, And I'll be drilling right through the center of this truck, and then I'll fasten my wire to it. I'll run that through, and you'll see it here in a second. So let's go ahead and drill this hole. Now I like to, on these Athearn trucks, I want to try and drill it right in through here. We'll see how that comes out. And I try to stay as centered as I can in that truck. Let me take and move my drill bit back some. Those are pretty flimsy. We've got our start. See how close we come to okay, let's see. There I'm through half. Okay, there's that side through. And then what I'll do, I really hate to show all this because this is a lot of repetitive stuff, and then it turns in, it takes me about an hour to put one of these in, and that's what it took me to put in the decoder in those F units. And now I can video all of this, and I can post all of it. Now whether you want to watch it is up to you, but I think maybe this time I'll take in a lot of the repetitive stuff like this right here. I'll just take and not show. Then we'll see how that goes, because nobody wants to watch me sit here and drill these holes. Okay, so that's a 20 thousandths hole, and I've got a 16 thousandths piece of wire, and as you can see, it is fairly difficult to snake that through. Try this from the other side. It's like threading a needle. Well, go through there. Drill that out just a touch. Drill both of them. There we go. There's one. Let me nip that off. And it really doesn't need to be any longer than the truck itself. So now let's see if we can get this side in. And I will fasten that. I'll put some, put a dab of glue. There went the other one. Do the same thing there. So there's that set. And I'll take just a spot of glue, glue that to the truck. I just recently found these. These are, you can get, this is for cuticles. And I don't know if you can see that tip on that. It's just a small ball. But I use it for super glue. Get a little drop there on it. And you can just put a drop wherever you need to there. Just a small bit. So far I've had really good luck with those. One of these days maybe I'll do a tools on the workbench kind of video. I don't know about you all, but I find tools part of the one of the most exciting things of the hobby. Of course, it just gives me another reason to buy more tools. So, set that aside, let that dry. We'll go through and drill this one. Okay. Right there, it keeps throwing me up. It's a good thing those blades are that flexible. Or drill bits, I mean, not blades. I do have a video of the other sound decoder. It's on my Facebook page. I never did a long video or an install video of it. Just making sure I got that to where I can get it through. Lose my wire. Well, it goes really good for a while and then it just kind of hits a wall. And let me run that drill bit back through there. There we go. I know that's a little crooked, but that'll work out. Now we'll go back through, put a little dab of CA glue on there. This glue that I use, I get it from Woodcraft. The CA, it's called Hot Stuff. And I have had really good luck with it. So now we've got both of the wires in. Set that one off. Move our drill bit. And I'll put that down in there. We'll go back to our first one here. Now, my first thought on these, you know, if this is right side up on this truck, I had thought about taking and maybe running the wire up on top of the wheel, just like so. If you can see that. Now, I haven't tried that yet. Maybe I ought to, just to see how it would work. So we'll try something here. I don't think the bad part of that would be that the wire is not flexible enough. If it was a spring, if it had some tension to it, I think it would be great. So right now, I can feel tension on the truck right there on the wheel set. and that'd give me the top of the flange. But I don't know. I don't think I really like that. So I think what I'll do is, like I did the last one, I'll bend this around and I'll get them out here on the front of the truck. To where they can't be seen. But they'll still be in contact with the wheel. Okay, there's that one. Well, sometimes you get lucky. The first one went really easy. There we go. And let me get my screwdriver back. I'll get that down in there a little better. Now, from that angle, you cannot see where I put that wire on that truck. Now that one right there, this one, is on the back side. So we'll get that taken care of here in a second. Bend this around. Now this will put some tension on your wheel, so you got to kind of play with it just a little after you get them all made up to loosen the wheel set back up. And now, like I say, this may not be the best method. It does work. And by doing it this way, I get power. When I have them both completed, I get power from both sides of the rail and from both ends of the car. So I still have movement there in my truck, and that does roll. These do have an insulated axle on them. Metal wheels, insulated axle. That seems to run fairly smooth. I will straighten it out more after a while. So here's the start of the process. And then this is what I end up with. So they are very, if you can see it, it is minimal what you can see. Get that up there on the camera. So there's just a touch there. But now what I'll end up doing is I'll solder, when I run my decoder in here into the car, then I'll solder just a wire down on that, and that'll give us our contact. So now I have to do this truck. That one's completed. Let's take it. Maybe do part of this without the wheel in there. Maybe it'll make it a little easier to maneuver around. Maybe. And I just kind of bend those in. Now I know it will mark the inside of the wheel, but I don't worry about that. So that did make that easier. Yeah, missed that one. Pull that out and try it again. Bend it down a little. Yep. Okay. That back inside there. And like I say, I will have to work with that just a little bit. So there's that with the wire installed. Just barely visible. I'll be able to solder my wires to it. And we'll go from there. So, as you saw there at the beginning, most of the car came apart there to begin with. So, there's what I'm starting with. Go ahead and pull that frame off. Actually, we'll drop it right out. And we will pop our bottom out. Nothing to that. So there we have that. Let's open up our decoder bag. And of course, I'll need a knife here. So there's our decoder. And this was actually a 3-pack that I bought, and it was a bonus pack for a summer. Tsunami had a summer sale on these. You buy the decoder and you get this speaker for free, and I believe it is a 28 millimeter. Yep. I never have my ruler when I need it, but I will give you, get my mics out. 1/276. So it is just over 1.25 inches in diameter, and luckily these fit nice and snug into these box cars. So go ahead and cut that speaker out. And cut the plates out. This is the cover for the speaker. And you can make your baffle or your enclosure a couple of different lengths. I put all of it on. Put two back in there. And you can move that if you need to. That's the bottom, so you can get your wires through. Take that speaker out. That in. Yep, I didn't get it all the way in. There it went. Then we'll put that on there. And actually, we really don't need it, because that makes it just a tad bigger than the boxcar frame. So let me take, and I'll cut just one of these off, so I don't need all of them. I really don't need any of them. Let it fly, but that retains that speaker in there. Kind of test fitted here. So we've got that. We've got that, and that will go in there. I don't really need it, and I may not use it, because I will mount that speaker in that box. And just to keep them straight, I put them on the brake wheel end, or on the B end of the car. So that really sits right in there nice. I'll end up with that on there. That's the bottom. And then I use double-sided tape to mount the enclosure. But I'll have to solder my speaker wires on there. I will have to drill to get my power wires down through. You can put, it has a plug for a keep alive. Now I never put a keep alive on the other one, and it works really well. So I'll get this one, and hopefully I won't have to put a keep alive on this one either. Well, I know I won't because I don't have any right now. But if I want to, I can always go back and put the keep alive on it. So let's go ahead and, well, we'll break out the instructions because I need to see which wire is. I've got purple. So there's a purple, and there's a purple. Those two are my speaker wires. Let me pull that down out from in there. Okay. So there are my speaker wires. Go ahead, flip on my soldering iron there. While that's heating up, I can go ahead and strip my wire. There's that. I do use a little bit of flux on these. And I love this new soldering iron I have. I just turned that on. I have it set for 720 degrees. It's a Weller. And within, well, I never looked at the clock. It's probably been less than a minute. I am up to right there, 719 degrees. So I'll take, just kind of dip those down in my solder. And we'll tin up the iron, and at that temperature I can just touch that, and that is good to go. So now put that back for a second. I need to run that through there. And these do have a really good sound, and there you can hook up light. There's light functions on these. Cattle sounds. I shouldn't have put that speaker in there like I did. this is. Okay, there. Okay. Now we'll hook these up. Yep. If I could keep it from sliding around. Let me clean the tip off just a little bit. Okay. There's one, and I don't like to stay on these things very long. Sorry, my hands are in the way here, but sometimes that's just how it goes. And there you saw how that went. I need to take it back out. Forgot to allow for my ring. Now that'll probably just be in my way. Since I got that back off of there, trim that off just a little bit. And that one too. Okay. Clean that tip off again. So now we have our speaker together. Well, we have the wire on it. It's always something. Put this down here on the flat before I end up running my finger through the speaker. There. That's together. That's together. Okay, we'll leave that like that. Let's see. Now that wire is not long enough. So I'll get out my roller wire and my power to each side. Black is the left rail, red is the right rail. So we'll dig out some red and black. I just I'll just end up cutting a length of black and red. That way I can run it the whole length of the car. Now I need this is the, well, it's not hard, but I have to drill down through the car, or through the weight, to get where I need to be. So let's see. If you could see my workbench here, and I'm ashamed to show it, I'm looking for a marker. And I do have one here somewhere. It's right in front of me. I'll mark where I need to drill this. Actually, I want to drill it inside. I'll mark this frame right here, or weight, and right there. And then I'll end up drilling right in here. So take this weight back off, and I'll drill in the center. Put that back where I can find it, back where it's supposed to be. Maybe that's back where I'll never find it, where it's supposed to be. And then we'll just drill a small hole. This is 1/8 inch. You could drill something smaller if you wanted, but let's see. You probably really don't need to see this, but let me and no, I'm not going to drill into my hand. I say that. That'll give me plenty of room, and I'll hit that with a file. file before I do anything else. You just want to knock the burrs off. Pull that big one off with a set of pliers. And then hit it with a file. Just get both ends of it. Okay. Now we can set that back on there. Get our drill again. There's our holes through the bottom. That little won't hurt. Okay, so we've got our holes. And now, let's see how that matched up, because I tried to put it. Okay, you can see it's right through the center, right there. So now, start stripping some wire here. Let me get in the middle of this, or somewhere semi-close to the middle. I don't want to cut it. I just want to strip the center out. That way I can attach my wire. I'll just take and attach. I don't know if you can see that. I've just got a little bit there. Go back to the center. I don't want to cut the wire. Just want to strip the cable off. Okay. Now, so we've got our red. We'll attach this. Strip our red wire. tin that up, break out the solder again. There's that one. Dip a little solder, or a little flux onto that. Tin that up. And then we'll attach it. And I will take and put a piece of heat shrink on that after we get it all together here. Okay. Cut that off. Tubing, heat shrink tubing. So there we've got that. And I just used the back of the soldering gun to seal that up. So there's that one. Now we need our black. That all tinned up. There's that one tinned up. Now we can take and attach that. Sometimes I get in my own way here and I can't see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, cut me another piece of heat shrink. iron back out. Okay. So there I've got that. Now, we'll take and run this down through. There's that side. We'll pull this side in. There's that side. Now, like I say, I will put that on the B end, and I will use some double-sided tape for that. I do like the double-sided tape, but I have a heck of a time getting it started. So let's try that. Worst case here, I stabbed myself in the finger. Okay. There. There's that. So I want to, I'll put that on there like that. And this is the part that will go on the brake end or on the handle end. So I'll turn these wires around, get that. And the reason I say that is because there is a magnet in here that you run across, and that tells your car when that's how you put your car in your consist, is with the magnet on there. And I'll cut me another piece of tape. Try this a different way. There we go. Get that out of there. That on there. And I do want to leave enough room to, if I ever want to put the Keep Alive in, I will have enough room. So there, that's bolted, well, not bolted in, but it is fastened. And don't worry too much about these wires. They're for the lighting effects. We'll just tuck them up underneath. That way they won't fall out. We've got the speaker fastened. Go ahead. Pull that up. Push that down in. Push that in. And if I need to, I can open that back up. But I shouldn't need to. So now we are ready to strip the ends off of this. And we'll fasten them to our truck. I just strip a little length of that off. Not a whole lot there. So take and put some flux on these so I can tin those. Go ahead and tin that up. Clean the tip off again. With the solder. A little bit of solder. A little bit of solder. Clean the tip off. Now all I need to do is get my truck out, and it will sit on there like this. So I will take and fasten that. I'll fasten it over here to this side. So let's see. Let's put a little solder, a little flux down here. And then well, we've got it out. That one will sit like that. Actually, it doesn't matter. Put a little flux in here. And if anybody has any ideas on how to get power, just leave it in the comments. I'm willing to try something different if I need to, but for right now, like I say, this works. It's not a lot of work. It's cheap because you could buy a pack of that wire. I get it at Hobby Lobby. So all we got to do is make sure we keep our blacks on one side and our reds on the other. So right. Let's see if I can get a little bit of solder there. Okay. I do need to get my solder over here. So there's that one. And I did mark that a little bit, but that'll be fine. Yep. The bad thing about this is that it's so thin. So that's going to sit like that. This will be, if that's up, that'll end up being up like that. So our red is on this side, that'll end up being up like that. So I need the red over here, right? And then the black. Over there. We'll clean our tip off. And now, other than putting the screws in, we should be that will finish the installation. We'll get that rundown on there. There's that one. Make sure we've got our wires the right way. And I know my hand is in the way. Okay. That is our whole installation. That is complete. Now we'll put it up on the track and we'll see what we have. All right, so I've set it up on the track. I've got my power cab plugged in, and let's see a first time test here. So it is working. It has a bell. There is a horn on it. Short horn, long horn, and like I say, there is lighting effects. You should be able to, when I run this over, you should be able to hear the brakes, the brake wheel. Okay, did you hear that? That is the sound of the brake wheel. So that indicates that we are waiting for a command, and we have to press F8 4 times. Okay, so now that should be it there. We heard the air come off. You hear the wheels clack. Let me reverse it. And it does speed up the faster the locomotive goes. To take it out of the consist, we'll wave the magnet over it again. You can hear it hiss there. And we should hear the brake apply. Okay, there you heard the brake apply. Now let me pull forward. And we have a successful install. So that should be that. Let me put it with my other one here. We'll move that. We'll see what it sounds like with 2 of them running. Okay. Okay, so here we'll run them through, both of them. and you can tell that they are out of sync there, so that does make for a nice sound.